Hello and welcome again to Classical Guitar Works. In this video, we will be discussing how best to practice with your guitar. So, you have your guitar and a few beginner tips. Now you are unsure of how best to practice the guitar. Well, by the end of this video, you would have gotten all the tips and tricks that should help you practice the guitar effectively. When it comes to practicing the guitar, there are several personal factors to be considered. All this is aimed at finding out the perfect system for you. 1. What is your schedule like? Apart from people who learn the guitar in order to play professionally, some people learn it as a side gig or hobby. Whichever category you belong to, you still need to practice. However, the category you belong to will affect your system of practice. So, in order to get the best out of your practice time, you need to consider your normal schedule. For a person learning the guitar as a professional fit, they will most likely have more time than the enthusiasts and hobby players. Now that you are sure of where you belong and the practice time available to you, let us move to the next factor. 2. How often can you practice? Now that you have sorted out how your schedule works, the next thing is to create a structure around your schedule. Using your schedule, you can now determine how often you can practice. This may be daily, weekly, or even monthly. With the structure created, you now need to determine how much time you can give for practice. 3. How much time can you give? When learning anything at all, the time you give to that thing is very essential. This is because the more time you spend doing it, the better you get. Now, we considered the flexibility of your schedule and how often it can allow you to practice. With that sorted, you now need to decide how much time you can give from your free time to practice. This factor applies to both categories. So, even with the structure created, you still need to determine how much time you can devote. For those learning to play professionally, they would probably need to devote more time than those just taking it as a pastime. So, let us say you decide to practice on a daily basis, you can decide to take 1, 2, or 3 hours daily for your practice. All these still depends on you. Now, those are the 3 major factors to be considered when you want to practice the guitar. Before we leave, there are a few tips that could also aid you in practicing the guitar. These tips will make your practice time more fruitful. Let's go over them. 1. Get a coach. There are many ways people learn to play the guitar. Some watch helpful videos, search for online resources, or get an actual teacher. Whichever way you opt for learning the guitar, it would help to have a coach monitor your practice and progress. How does this help? The coach can see how and what you play. This will help him determine what you need to do, stop doing, or even do better per time. So, to get the best out of your practice time, get a coach that can monitor your progress. 2. Divide your session into segments. This tip just helps you create a balance in every practice session. So, if you have dedicated an hour a day to practice, divide that hour into 15 to 20-minute segments. During these periods, you can do different helpful routines, depending on your preferences. 3. Learn new songs. Whenever you learn something new, putting it to practice is very helpful. Considering this, you should try putting whatever you have learned to practice by playing new songs. This helps you put some of the technical parts of what you have learned to the test. Apparently, this part might be a bit difficult. This is because as a beginner learning new songs, it process might take you more than a day. Furthermore, not getting it right can be a big turnoff when learning and practicing, and this is where the next and final tip comes in. 4. Play some music. Learning new songs is important. However, you should not spend all your practice time doing that. This tip is more psychological than musical. When you end your practice session with an enjoyed playtime, the memories help you fare better. With this memory, coming back the next day or week to practice would not be a problem. So, simply put, always end your sessions on a high note. In conclusion, no matter the intent for learning to play the guitar, the most important thing is to make sure you are practicing well enough. If you've enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you'll know once we post a new video. Also, drop a comment below so we can know your thoughts. Finally, don't forget to check the description below for more details and visit our site www.classicalguitarworks.com for more awesome guitar content like this.